Good evening to you all, and I trust that you'll have a good evening this evening with information. And all I can say is there are so many benefits to being involved as far as the products are concerned and as far as the business is concerned, and you're going to hear a little bit about both. Rory and I met a little over 40 years ago. I wasn't interested in hearing what he had to say. I was a doctor, specialized in anesthetics. I wasn't interested in getting involved in anything else other than what I saw as my path through life. So this was definitely a change. I didn't want to know. But my wife, Pat, was very entrepreneurial, and she got involved. And there were a couple of things that changed my mind. One was I got hepatitis. I was very unwell. I got hepatitis B, and Pat insisted that I took a whole range of a high-quality nutritional products. And that changed for me. It changed the course of my disease. And I think that's really where I started to understand a little bit about nutrition. As a doctor, we're not taught anything, or very little. So, you know, it was difficult for me, because there I was, spent a lot of time at university and post-university getting to the various qualifications, and I knew nothing about nutrition. And here were things that were making a difference to my good health. So I think very fortunate to get involved with a company like NeoLife that just has such a strong scientific foundation as to the formulation of the products and the research that goes into looking at what is important. And I think the other major thing about the company is their philosophy of that it must be based in nature, but backed by science. And that makes a huge difference. There are many things out there that are called nutrition supplements, but they're not all the same. And I think that was what I came to understand. The other thing was just the fact that we do need nutritional supplementation, that often our food sources are not as they should be with the right sort of concentrations of nutrition. And I think what the company is able to do is, by having a scientific advisory board of a whole range of specialists in their particular areas, they are able to bring together formulations that make a difference. Even with all that I've learned, I would hate to walk into a health store or a chemist or whatever to try and pick out a range of nutritional supplements that would cover the things that I need. Very difficult. If you've ever tried to do it, have a look at the labels. Whereas with NeoLife, they're able to produce those sorts of things that give you such a well-rounded range of nutritional supplementation that are the basics. And I think that's really what we have. We have things like the Formula 4. This is the Formula 4 Plus, but in fact, obviously, the original Formula 4, which was where the company started, is still a unique product. And it does all the things that we need. I'm sure a lot of people on this call already know a fair amount about what the products are, but the treonine and that is in the Formula 4, and this is the Formula 4 Plus, it just gives you such a foundation that is necessary. There are a couple of other things that I believe over the years I've come to understand, that carotenoids, which are antioxidants, and omegas, which are anti-inflammatories, are vital for our everyday metabolism. So for us to be as well as we can be, and that's really what I believe nutritional supplementation does for you, is it keeps you well for longer. And that's really what I would like to be able to have. And so the Pro Vitality, in my mind, is such a foundational product, because it gives you the Formula 4 Plus, as well as a carotenoid and an omega. And the benefits of those, which I have been spoken about before, but they really make a difference to you. So if you want to keep your metabolism at its optimum, and I believe that those were part of what helped my liver recover from that hepatitis. So that as a base, as a foundation, is so important. And as I said, you know, the company has been able to produce and formulate over the 60 odd years that they've been operating high quality, state of the art, really at the forefront of research into nutritional supplementation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about 3 other products. The things that we concerned about throughout our life, really. But it's keep your mind as active and capable and all the rest of it as it can be, for as long as it can be. Keep your mobility in good condition so that you can move around. All you've got to do is have a bit of a problem with a knee or an ankle or a foot. Suddenly you realize just how important it is to be mobile, ongoing. And then, of course, your cardiovascular system, your whole heart, which affects your brain, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, all of those things. So, when you have issues in any of those areas, you want to be able to say, well, look, at least it is not being aggravated by a lack of good nutrition. You may still need medication of some sort or another, but often you'll find that is required less. And of course, one of the big areas in our current Western society is diabetes. And it's important to be able to do something about that. So mobility, full motion is an amazing product. And that just helps to maintain the health of your joints. So when you start to creak and groan and have a bit of pain in different areas, it really is worthwhile looking at something like full motion, because that has glucosamine in it in a formulation that is readily absorbed. And that's an important aspect of it. There are herbs in there that help as far as pain is concerned, and also minerals, which are vital for the normal consistency of bone, because often it's osteoporosis, those sorts of things that cause problems in joints. So full motion can make a really big difference in making sure that the cartilage that covers the end of every bone we have joints that work like this, and they are covered by that very smooth cartilage. What a full motion will do is help to maintain the health of that cartilage and therefore improve any wear and tear, because that's really what happens. As we move around, we degrade our joints. Then you've got something like the botanical balance. And that, again, is vital in helping to maintain your good blood sugar levels. So, and really, it's not just diabetics. We all use sugar every day. And it's important that our body metabolizes it correctly. And the botanical balance assists in making sure that that happens. And the combinations that just make sure that we are able to handle the sugars that we get. Obviously, don't overindulge, but all of us require to have that at the absolute best that we can. And then our cardiovascular system, and let me just say that there are things in that foundational range that I was talking about in the Pro Vitality. The formula for the omega and the carotenoid all help with your cardiovascular system. But there are those things that are ancillary to the damage that can occur to an artery all the time. Just our normal metabolism causes us to have waste products that cause long-term damage to our arteries. And of course, once you have an artery damage, depending on where that is supplying, could be the head, could be the eye, could be the heart, could be the lungs, kidneys, liver, any organ in the body, your big toe, you can start getting things going wrong. And the lipotropic really is such a good combination of things that help to keep cholesterol levels down. All of those things that are necessary to have the best possible health of what is happening in your body minute by minute. Us sitting here right now, we are metabolizing, we're breaking down our sugars, we're forming waste products, they potentially causing damage. We need these things to protect us. And that is really what I believe nutritional supplementation does over the long term, is it gives you that extra protection of being able to get rid of the things that cause damage. And we should be getting that in our diets, and often are not. So if over the 40 years, I started out as a total skeptic. I did not really believe in nutritional supplementation. I didn't. And I really didn't believe that the business is a workable operation at the time. And certainly not for me. I didn't like speaking to people. It was one of the reasons why I did anesthetics. It's easier to do it that way. But what's happened over the years is I've become totally convinced that for us to have the best possible health, you need to have food-based, good nutrition. And I cannot find any other range of products that are as complete and effective as the NeoLife ranges. I've spoken about some of these things, but in fact, there are a whole lot more that can be of benefit. And I must admit, I take a lot myself every day. The more that I've read over the years, I guess the more I've taken, because I've been convinced that it is important for our good health. And, you know, I still want to be able to roll in the grass and play ball with my grandkids or great-grandkids, if that happens. And, you know, it's possible. It's possible to be well for a long, long time. So as far as the conviction for me about nutritional supplementation, I do not know of another range of products. And these have been effective for me. I have 3 daughters, 8 grandkids. And yeah, there are a couple of great grandkids incubating somewhere. And they have all been products, basically, of this range of nutritional supplementation. And, you know, the other thing is there is a business there, and it is very effective. Pat started in the business. I wasn't interested. 4.5 years later, I gave up full-time anesthetics because this business had got to the point where it was earning double what I was earning as a specialist anesthetist. It is an amazing opportunity, truly is. And what I really enjoy about it is that it has a range of products that I can offer to people with absolute confidence, because it does what it says it's going to do, and the research is there for it. So you're going to hear a bit more about other aspects of the business, but if I can just encourage you to start using a high quality, effective supplementation range, this is the one.